Welcome back to Cheche, the program where opinion counts. Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, the Deputy Prime Minister and newly endorsed presidential flag bearer for the Amani coalition, is our guest this morning. And of course, the big question is, who will be your running mate?
Well, it's something that I'll be unveiling in a few days' time.
All right.
But I want to tell you that legally, I've not broken any provision at this point in time. We are perfectly in order, and the running mate really should be unveiled on the day that you present your papers. So I am doing a lot of consultations broadly, narrowing in on one or two individuals. And all I want to say is that I would like to be able to present a running mate that will be of great value to the Kenyan people. And also of strategic importance to the party in terms of how we garner our votes.
So what qualities are you looking for?
Well, I am looking for a hard worker.
Male or female?
Man or woman who will be able to show that they can work hard. They can be able to provide clear positions on national issues. People who will be able to win votes for the party.
Okay, is ethnicity a consideration?
I mean, let us be very plain here. That in Kenya's politics, if by birth I come from Western Kenya, it would be really impolitic if I were to get a running mate from Western Kenya.
Even in America, that happens.
Let's be very realistic on that topic. Yeah.
Is everything lost with this? And I would like to take you back to the alliances and efforts you've tried to work with other people. One, what transpired, in fact, as you look for running mates, Peter Kenneth was one of your targets for running mate or to work together. Somehow your partnership broke abruptly, and you seem to have left him on the street and got into a matatu and left to somewhere. What exactly transpired in your alliance?
No, first of all, let me just say that I have a lot of respect for Peter Kenneth, and the issues surrounding coalition building can be very tricky sometimes. And I would like to say at this point in time that there's absolutely nothing wrong in us being able to work together even in the future. So I would want to leave it at that, and to say that what happened on December 4th really is now water under the bridge, and I want us to focus and look ahead.
Okay.
But you signed an agreement with the Uhuru Kenyatta, and he said it was the devil. Can you tell us exactly what transpired? Because we understand, we were here with Mwakwere. We interviewed Mwakwere here. Soon after that, they came to you. Previous day, the following day came to us, and he told us genuinely that Uhuru Kenyatta was willing to give you the candidature. What transpired?
I mean, the rest is really in the public domain, and I think I explained it in my statement earlier when I spoke of this particular issue. And really, in all fairness for the Kenyan people, I don't think I want to dwell on that particular issue. What is important is that if you're moving forward and your vehicle gets stuck in the mud, you pull it out and you carry on.
Okay.
So let us move on. And if there are issues that somebody would want us, I don't want to speak for Uhuru on this matter. It's up to him.
Is there any possibility that you could be working together? Because my hunch is that you are going to work together again. Are you just deceiving the public? You see, there is something about that I would like Mheshimiwa to address. The whole issue of leadership and integrity and the morality of our leaders. You say this, but you're doing something else.
I think,
I saw that today you tell us, oh, it's nothing going on. But behind the scenes, you've secretly signed a deal. How is that for trust and honesty in the public domain?
I think it's not about me on this particular issue. I think it's about the whole nation. And all I want to say here is that as leaders, if we make a commitment, whether it is within the public domain or whether it is not within the public domain, I think it is important for that leadership to live up to its word.
But you yourself left Kenneth in the street, like he said.
No, but as I said, you're mistaking it. It was not exactly that. And I don't want to go into that particular detail. I think I want to move forward.
Okay, so let's move on because, of course, our time is limited and there's several questions about your own qualities as a leader. Because, of course, we all know that you left your previous party, ODM, because you weren't assured of a fair process in the selection of a presidential flag bearer. And so you come to the Jubilee Coalition where you agree that that process will not transpire. And so there's a bit of a paradox because you say that you want democracy, you want Kenyans to be able to choose, but then you come to a situation where you're agreeing behind closed doors that you will be the choice of a party, of a coalition. How do you explain the contradiction?
First of all, let me say that there's no contradiction here. There is a distinction that we need to look at. We were talking of a commitment that was made. Remember, there is a commitment that has been made. In this other area, we were talking of a due process, all right? So if I come to you, Madam Amim, and I say, I'm making a commitment that this is going to be the position, you have made the commitment.
Whose mandate?
That
Kenya is not a private company.
Precisely.
Who allowed them to do that?
Now, that is the question they should respond to.
But you
signed it. You signed it.
But let me tell you this. The difference I'm trying to put across here is that if, for instance, I stood down and I said, I'm standing down for you, Mr. Makali, I should be the one to say very clearly that I have decided I'm not going to contest and I'm standing down for Makali and I stick to my word. That is all.
There was a backlash when that information came out. And so as a leader, surely you should be able to go back to the drawing board and say, this isn't working. How do we salvage the situation? And this is where you displayed, such intransigence, given that it seemed that efforts were made to accommodate you and to accommodate your point of view.
No way. I don't think that is realistic. Let us follow these issues very carefully. If you're talking of delegates, you're talking of a situation where you're supposed to be coming together as delegates. You had not been together before in terms of your grassroots campaigns and so forth. You don't just enter into a situation and say that this is it. There has been no bonding of those delegates. So let us be very, very realistic here, that I am not the culprit here. This was a situation where somebody came forward and said they want to support my candidacy. So it was nothing to do in that agreement. Had it been very clearly spelled out that we are going to go for a delegates conference, yes, then I would have been justified in doing that.
An agreement of that caliber does not come freely. What was your consideration?
In terms of what?
Uhuru just came and said, we'll give it to you. In exchange for what?
I think
what was it in it
for him?
Yeah.
Mr. Uhuru said he wanted to pull back. And I think I said it very clearly in my statement, that he felt that he wanted to pull back in the interest of the nation, and he wanted to make a very personal sacrifice. That was his position. And it was on the basis of that we were discussing, because we wanted to forge ahead and move ahead as a Kenyan people.
What I understand, and I put it to you, that there were other considerations which were not met on the side of the people who made this offer to him.
Now, let me tell you this.
What Ruto told us.
I would not want to go into that, because that has nothing to do with me. Because if
it has everything to do with you, because you are the party to this agreement, which affects Kenyans. However secret and personal it is, it related to governing this country, where Kenyans have a stake.
Mr. Makali, I was visited by this gentleman. They came to see me. They made their proposition. We had a discussion on that basis. Now, I have no idea if they had other issues that they were discussing with other people. So you cannot involve me in that kind of discussion. So let's move ahead.
In a deal that falls apart, somebody has made an offer to you, which is very sweet. You have bought it. He comes back and withdraws, as he did, and says, Shaitani mwingine akakuja akasema hii. You should Did you ask him which shaitani was this? Because it affects your welfare. You can't say I really don't know. You're part of this thing.
Look, you guys, let me say very plainly as Kenyans.
Okay.
We move forward.
Right.
All right. Let us not get stuck in this process. I think we have moved on. I'm out there on the campaign trail. They are on the campaign trail. Let Kenyans make their decision.
If I may just on the last one on that, but taking you back to what Amimo asked you, why would you blame Uhuru, for example, for cheating you out of this deal? When your own movement out of ODM, I need to take you back there because it's a matter that hangs in the public domain. You made certain demands for an open, transparent nomination exercise and wanted it done even at the county level. The party bent backwards and said, we will actually allow this to happen.
After I had left.
No, before you had left, they had made a commitment. The law hadn't, the regulations hadn't been changed, but the party had agreed.
They were making the adjustment after I had left. I mean, that is the public domain.
There was no offer that we are going to change the rules to comply with
even your colleague here is admitting that was made after.
Admitting, he's agreeing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
A bit of
there's
semantics
several,
there.
there's lots of text messages. Honorable Musalia, we're fully behind you. We trust you with leadership. That came from Fred in Kigali. You have the qualifications required to lead this nation. You have the personality, the network, and the goodwill. But your consistency is in question. So far, you're the senior-most politician in Western Kenya. You've never used this position to make the to go for unity of purpose in your home. We will support you in 2017, if you don't mind. That comes from Mark in Busia. And then there's this from Dan in Eldoret. Musalia is a gentleman, but indecisive and gullible. We saw how he was strict and easily fell for it. So it does seem as if you're quite a likable character compared to several of your competitors. But there's a question about your strength of character, your decisiveness.
Well, I'm very resolute. I've just
Resolute,
made...
naivety, you're equal, gullible.
No. I think let's be very, very clear here. Let's look at Kenya's politics. Even within the NAC framework, there are promises and broken promises. Yeah? So do you want us to come to the conclusion that those people were gullible?
Yeah, I mean, the people who
let's be realistic here. The whole genesis of how we moved from 2002, the crisis, to 2005, the NAC promises and the broken NAC promises and so forth.
The MOUs.
The MOUs. So are we going to say that those people were gullible and naive? I don't know. So let's be very realistic here. When we talk about this, fine, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I think we need to be realistic here. That in politics, there are issues that will come up from time to time. Now, I go to politics in good faith. I come to the Kenyan people in good faith. I make my commitments in good faith, all right? But it's not possible that you will always know the motive of the other party to this kind of situation. Well, so I think let's not completely despair as a Kenyan people. Let us have faith in Kenyan people, and let us continuously work towards improving our attitude towards the public engagements that we make.
Let's go to the time when you are the Minister of Finance. What do you think you can be proud of that you did? And particularly because you were there during the infamous Golden Bag period, and what was your role in that scam?
By the way, I stopped Golden Bag. That's the fact. I entered Ministry of Finance when Golden Bag was there. Inflation was running high, almost at 50%. The shilling had completely deteriorated. I engaged in serious mopping up of the excess liquidity in the economy. I terminated Goldenberg.
And did you not proceed to prosecutions?
But this matter has been in our courts over the years.
But not when you were there.
Oh,
Some people think that you benefited.
no, that is absolutely nonsense. Let us face it. There was even the Judicial Commission of Inquiry that was a public process. For 3 years, the matter was there. They made their recommendations. In their recommendations, it's very clear that the role I played was to terminate the issues of Goldenberg.
So what would you say was positive contribution as a Minister of Finance?
I think there are several. One, bringing the stability in a very, very volatile situation. Two, I then went further to open up this economy. I was the one really at the forefront of liberalizing our economy. I was one of the people who brought up the Kenya Revenue Authority. I am one of the people who amended for the first time the Central Bank Act so that it would give security of tenure to the governor of the central bank, and at the same time limit public borrowing, because all these other things that you would see at that time was because there was no limit to how much the government can borrow from the public at any one given time. So these are very, very critical areas that I played a central role in.
Okay, we have to take a break now. When Cheche returns, we will focus more on what Mudavadi presidency would look like. If you want to comment, send your thoughts to Cheche_TV, that's on Twitter, or you can SMS 2442.